So some people are just complicating things because when this foreigner enrolled in a Bisayan class, he wanted to learn Bisaya, obviously, that's why he enrolled. His helper tried to give him this idea that there's a kind of Visaya spoken, Binisaya spoken by city people, and a kind of Binisaya that they speak up there in the mountains. So she asked this American guy, so what kind of Bisaya or Binisaya are you learning? Is it the Binisaya that you speak in the city or the Binisaya spoken up there in the mountains? Of course, the answer I gave is, why should we learn the Binisaya spoken in the mountains? We are not in the mountains. And anyway, let's get this clear. Binisaya, whether it's spoken in the city or up south or up north, it's still Binisaya. The only difference is the intonation. Yes, it's the intonation. Because in the city, the Visayan dialect is spoken quickly and fast and like straight. However, when you go to the rural areas up there in the mountains, according to the helper, it's up there in the mountains. The tendency is for them to slow down and then have that kind of intonation that is like hilly intonation, like sing songy intonation. There's a kind of like, like it goes up at the end. They ask, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it, something like that. But in the city, everything is said like straight. It's like, oh, are you mad? Well, we're not mad. This is just the way we speak Bisaya in the city. So it's not sing songy. It's not like hilly. It's not hilly. Well, that's the Binisaya. Now, to further complicate the issue, someone asked, what's the difference between Cebuano and Bisaya? Well, Cebuano is still Bisaya. It's in the Bisaya, Cebu. See, Cebuano is the dialect in Cebu, and Cebu is still in the Visayas. So it's a dialect, a Visayan dialect, which is just a little different, slightly different from the Binisaya that we speak in Negros Oriental. What is the difference? Well, you might be able to hear and give more differences, but the stark difference is the use of the L, which changes into W very often when you go to Cebu. I'll give an example. Deep, that's English, like the sea is deep. In Bisaya, deep is lalum. When you go to Cebu, it doesn't become lalum, but they change the L to W. So it becomes laum, laum. Especially the middle part. No, if the L is in the middle part of the word, like wala, no, none, wala, then they just have wa. See, it seems like the L sound in the middle of the word disappears when you're in Cebu. But that's not a problem with us. We could easily understand Cebuanos anytime. And the problem is when you go to another Visayan island like Bacolod or Iloilo, where an entirely different dialect is spoken, Visayan dialect like Ilonggo, in Ilonggo. So what is the difference? Is there a big difference? I think there is a big difference because so many words in Ilonggo differ from the Binisaya that we speak here in Negros Oriental, apart from the intonation pattern that the Ilonggos have, because the Ilonggo dialect is very sweet. It is so smooth, and it's like dancing the ballet. I could imagine someone dancing the ballet when someone speaks Ilonggo. It seems like nobody's getting angry part of the island, the Ilongas. They speak smoothly, like they're singing. Let's have an example. The Bisaya in Negros Oriental would say, for example, asa ka paingon? In English, that's asking, where are you going? Where are you going? The Bisaya in Negros Oriental would say, asa ka paingon? Now the Ilongga from Bacolod, from Negros Occidental, will say, diin ka makadto. Diin ka makadto. So it's just like, see, an endearment. It's sweet to the ears. It's nice to hear the Ilongga speaking the Inilongo dialect because it's always sweet to hear like kadto ko to tiyo ay kato. Like how can you be mad at someone who speaks that? Now I wonder how they got mad. Didiin ka kadto na nga, kig na ko diliya. So that's the Ilonggo. How about the Tagalog or the Filipino? It's also slightly sing-songy. The Tagalog say, um, asa ka paingon? That's sweet people talking nicely. But when they are mad, the intonation changes accordingly. Unlike the Ilongga, if the Ilongga is mad, the intonation is the same, but it's just the voice. See, it's just the voice that changes. So we're actually a very interesting people in the Philippines because of number one, our language and our dialects. We have a lot of those. And per island, we have slight differences in the delivery of our messages because of the intonation patterns. Okay, so when you learn Bisaya, you're learning just that. You don't want to learn the intonation of the people up, the intonation that the people up there is using. So if you want to also learn um, Inilongo, you would need to learn the intonation and also vocabulary because the vocabulary of Inilongo and the Binisaya in Negros Oriental is different. Same is true with the Tagalog and the Filipino. The vocabulary is different. So you need to learn again. Anyway, that's all for today. I hope that you have learned something from this very little video. I hope you will also like and do something like what? Subscribe. Subscribe. I have already 33 subscribers. I want more. So click like and then subscribe. Pwede po, you can also dislike, but preferably it should be a like and then subscribe.